Hello and welcome to your astrological vibrations for Wednesday, November 29th, 2023 by Gaia Blooming. I am Mimi, and our energy mantra for today is I'm grateful for the ability to daydream. And as I looked at this Astro energy, two songs popped into my head. One is a song from the 80s, Ordinary World popped into my head. And the other one that was actually immediate, and it actually was playing in my head the other day when we were talking about some of this Astro, is a song called Hailing, like FC Kahuna or something. And the lyrics are, don't think about all the things you fear, just be glad to be here. So we're in some combo of those energies. Today we have that Sun-Jupiter in conjunction, and it's made a little bit more vibrant with the moon in Cancer making it a fast-moving yod. The yod pointing at Sun in Sagittarius energy. So the yod is like the finger of God, finger of fate, ding, 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 looking at Sagittarius, being like, this is the important thing to pull you through this, eye of the needle energy. And so the Sagittarius energy is the one that stays open-minded. It keeps big picture. It is optimistic. It has vision. All fire signs have a lot of creativity. Now feeding in, we have Jupiter in Taurus. And while Jupiter in Taurus has a lot of good, beautiful energies, I think in this case, a lot of it is represented in the challenge of the heaviness of the Earth experience right now. And yet, Jupiter in Taurus is like, there's still a lot of good, there's still a lot of pleasure, there's still a lot of beauty that can be enhanced. Moon in Cancer. Moon in Cancer can get caught up in the loveliness, but it can also get caught up in the heartache and the emotion of all of this. And so again, to find your inner buoy, to find your inner Sagittarius, to find the place where you can rise up, is going to be important through this energy. So like I said the other day, I think it's always important to look at both, or all of these energies. It's important not to stick our heads in the sand and not be aware of what's happening, or deny what's happening. But I think sometimes we can get so caught up in the intensity of it that we become more detrimental than helpful to the situation. And so awareness of that is important. And I think with Sagittarius and balance and everything, it's also not like, well, it's all sunshine and rainbows and everything's going to be okay. I also don't think that mentality is exactly it, right? But Sagittarius is a reminder to take that aim. Sagittarius is the archer. To take that aim to where we're looking for. Keep looking in that direction and see where our actions can feed, can seed that vision. Moon in Cancer is going to make some waves. So, again, finding your inner buoy to buoy yourself up through these waves will be very helpful. Now, it's also interesting because we're also building to a Venus-Neptune in conjunction. And that's interesting too because when Neptune pops up, a lot of times Neptune brings up illusion. And so here it's like, well, you can use your illusion, but it's also recognizing where we can get caught up in illusion. And one of the things that occurred to me today, I was just sitting there and it just occurred to me like how so many people can just, I actually even saw this. So many people can just put whatever they want online, and there are people who will believe it because people have said it. I actually saw this today. I don't know if I'm going to call it out. I don't think I'm going to call it out. It's amazing what people will do for clicks. That's all I'm going to say. So, watch the illusion coming in on all this, because we can get so caught up in this energy with Venus, and there may be parts of us that want to get caught up in it, that want to believe these things, and that's part of that Venus and Libra energy. We want to go along with it. We want to believe it. Your truth resides in you. That might be part of this yod facing at Sagittarius. Sagittarius is also truth. And while I recognize that some truth can be subjective and there's a lot of different paths that lead to truth, your truth resides in you. You know your truth. My truth is love. Like, that's the truth that I reside in. I don't know what your truth is. But keep that in mind in and through this energy, because that illusion may start playing and pulling on you a little bit in this energy. Check in with yourself. Check in with your higher self. Check in with God universe. And a lot of times it's like, well, this is how the humans are doing it, and so this is how it's unfolding, and this is how you get to play your part in the beautiful pieces of this energy. So check in. Speaking of karma unfolding, Moon and Saturn are also connecting today. Moon in Cancer, again, bringing up our emotional, feely energy. And let me just say that you can also feel good. You can also feel happy. You can also feel silly. There's a lot of feels that Cancer can bring up. It's not necessarily just the sads. Although, I mean, this is the top of my cards. So there is a little bit of sadness that we're processing in this energy. The moon is also, well, yeah, it's also feeding into Jupiter. That's part of that yod energy. Jupiter may make those waves feel a little bigger. It may feel a little muddy. It may feel a little heavy. I will remind you of mud. There's so many things that mud does. Sometimes mud keeps us stuck. If you are feeling stuck, then chances are you're looking too much at the heavy and you've forgotten the vision. Mud can also be purifying, and so there may be some purification needed if you are in the mud. Mud can also build. We can build from the mud. So keep in mind, how are you going to use your mud? And if you are feeling Alice in Wonderlandy, how are you creating the mud? Just be aware of these energies, because you are the shift. I am the shift. You are the shift. We are all the shift. How are you utilizing such beautiful, wonderful power? It's funny because under that crying card, we have the control card. You may feel like you don't have a lot of control, and we don't have control about the unfolding of everything, but we have control over ourselves. We have control over our minds, and we can control where our aim is and what our energy form is. That being said, some daydream is going to be necessary. Creating the world. Remember, we are all creating the world. What are you creating? Here's the mental choices that we may be faced with today. I choose understanding. I choose understanding. I choose to understand me. I choose to seek to understand the process. And I seek to keep rising my vision and not getting stuck in the quicksand, not getting stuck in the mud, not letting the mud cover my eyes, not being caught in the muddy illusion, right? So, definitely look some interesting energies today as we're coming through this full moon over, but you've got this. So, you can book a reading. My 2024 readings are out. You can find the details below. You can always email me if you have any questions or want to see if you can customize anything. I'm always open to shifting things. You can buy a holiday gift card. And you can always just get a regular old reading. So, the better it gets, the better it gets. There's more than enough love in the world for you. You have the power, and remember who you are. Namaste.